Welcome to the video introduction of SkyVision Extreme software. Normally, SkyVision Extreme will start up and automatically connect to the UAT. However, if it does not, then there's another video that will talk about connection problems. The scope of this video is to discuss the features and functions and operation of the SkyVision Extreme software. SkyVision Extreme is normally split into two screens. A screen on the left is the synthetic traffic view screen, and the screen on the right is the moving map screen. If you have traffic and you wish to scroll around you to see other than the front view, you can just touch or click and then scroll either left or right to see the traffic as represented by this wheel. For the purpose of this demo, we will be using a feature of SkyVision Extreme software, which is the playback of a captured file. Simply by going to the Setup button and clicking that, it brings up another panel, and this panel allows you to make most of the changes to the views that you have in the SkyVision software. The playback tab at the top allows you to first capture data to a file. If you're flying and you want to capture your flight, you simply click on this button and it will capture the data to a file. The second one is playback captured data. By checking that box, the highlight of select captured data will appear. Click that box and a list of playback files will then come up. Just select the one you wish and click OK. Now we're playing back the file that was captured. Again, to scroll, simply place the finger or a mouse and click and hold and then scroll, and it will scroll 360 degrees around you as indicated by this window. It will return to a front view after 6 seconds. The screen is divided into, the synthetic traffic screen is divided into several parts. The part to the top left is the on-ship information, your aircraft information. It shows you your altitude in feet, and if you're receiving only geometric altitude, it will have a G, golf dash ALT. Shows your ground speed, your vertical speed, and the barometric pressure of the closest weather reporting station. The center portion is your track. The right portion is the connectivity information. In this case, it shows a UAT active, radio station active, which is a ground station, GBT, and the UTC time. To the left side of the screen is the buttons that will appear based on certain conditions. And the playback button will only come up in the event that you have or on the playback screen. The speaker button allows you to turn on or off the speaker. In this case, I turned it off, turn it back on, I click it again. The NOTAM button will appear anytime that there's a NOTAM for your area. The next button, the airplane with a lightning bolt through it, is a button that brings up the closest weather reporting station text weather. In this case, it's Oak Island, and this is the METAR for the Oak Island. The NOTAM button is flashing, so we'll click that, and this is a NOTAM for this area. The next button is the 2D button. The 2D button allows you to bring up a small window that gives you the 2D view of the traffic. The on-ship, or your airplane, is green in the center, and the other aircraft are white. You can change these colors as you wish. The lines extending in front of the aircraft is the velocity or speed lines based on whatever speed that aircraft is flying. When these lines intercept, then there's a need for increased vigilance. The number beside the aircraft is the altitude in hundreds of feet differential. So this aircraft is 2,000 feet above me. As can be seen over here with the information about the traffic, this aircraft is 6.6 nautical miles, 2,400 feet above me, flying on heading of 273 degrees at 264 knots, and he's climbing. The representation of the symbols of the aircraft are either for an airliner or a GA aircraft is based on speed. The 2D window can be scrolled, used to scroll the synthetic view window also. By clicking the R or right, it will do 90-degree right of the front view. Aft will be 180 degrees behind you, and L or left will be 90 degrees to the left. You can return to front view simply by waiting 6 seconds and or by clicking the top of the black box. The UAT button is for the initial setup of the UAT. Unless you have a portable and move it from airplane to airplane, this would only need to be set up one time. The call sign can be changed. In this case, we'll change it to 35195. And when I do that, it will automatically look up the ICO for that IN number. The squawk can be changed, or you can just click VFR to go to 1200. The transmit allows you to select standby, mode A, mode C, or to exit out. And of course, ident is like a transponder ident. The self-assigned address allows you to mask the ICAO and the squawk codes and send out randomized numbers. This is just like flying VFR today. And finally, the setup button is there so you can change many of the parameters on the warning distances, the maximum distance to see the traffic, the views, the front view, the top view, and also hardware setup. In this case, we're using the Salus 3 with transpond SPE. And of course, shutdown. The right screen, the moving map screen, has a top bar that is reserved when you have a flight plan that is active. Underneath that on the left is the age of the CONUS weather and the next red weather. In this case, 21:15 Zulu, and our current time is 21:18, so it's 3 minutes old. To the right of that is a scale that shows that in this case we are looking at 36 nautical miles wide by 45 nautical miles tall. The screen can be either vertical or horizontal, depending on how you turn the tablet. The moving map shows the airspace and the airports, and the magenta aircraft is the own ship. Traffic will show up as black aircraft. The arrow button, if this is selected and you touch anywhere on the screen, it will bring up the closest weather reporting, or the weather reporting stations within 30 nautical miles of where you tap. In this case, we have Wilmington with a METAR, a TAF, and by scrolling up, if it's available, you will have NOTAMs, and you will also have winds aloft. The next button down, the hand, with this button, if you touch anywhere on the screen, it will recenter around that button. For example, if I touch here, it'll recenter around where I touched. The button below that will allow you to return to the previous, in this case, where your own ship is centered on the screen. and this is a representation of traffic. The next button down, the plus sign, zooms in, and the minus sign zooms out. In this case, we will zoom up to look at this weather extent around, in this case, Fayetteville, and then return to center around on-ship. Flight planning button is very simple. You can create and edit, activate, invert, or exit this button. To create, edit, you come up with a list of your flight plan. It can be multi-legged. In this case, we're going to, since we're already flying, we're going to use the present position, and we're going to add in another waypoint. And we're going to move that waypoint up in the list by selecting it and moving it up. So now we're going from present position to Kilo Tango Tango Alpha, and the final destination Kilo Hotel Bravo India. And we'll activate that flight plan, and when I do so, you will see a magenta line to represent your flight plan. And it will show at the top bar the active leg, which is present position to Kilo Tango Tango Alpha, a distance of 84.9 nautical miles, estimated time en route based on current speed 38 minutes and 12 seconds, track 315 degrees, bearing 331 degrees. So in a nutshell, that is the Extreme Vision software. There will be more videos to talk about some of the finer points of the software. Thank you for listening and watching.